Hey everyone, Voltas coming through your speakers, and today we've got a 1v1 matchup on Shakura's Plateau. This is part of the Zotac Cup, which I guess is an ongoing, looks like a circuit in the European area. I am not familiar with this cup, but what I am familiar with is the expansion of esports and how it is growing in Europe, America, and Asia. I like to see that, and I like to see two teams fight it out. We've got Terran versus Zerg, so let's get this thing rolling! Let's introduce our players. In the lower left-hand corner, wearing the purple trunks, it's ESC's Goody. He's from Germany. He actually has a Goody build based off of his heavy tank plane. I think they call him the Panzer General. So maybe we'll see a little more mech play out of him, or maybe he'll bring something totally new to the table. In the lower right-hand corner, our Zerg player in the green trunks. He is spreading creep. He is going to decimate the Terrans. It is BLAST's Tefel. This guy's from Poland. He is a relative unknown other than being really active from beta on through, has participated in innumerable cups, but just hasn't reached that top layer of cream to really be noticed. So let's see how he progresses in this tournament, and hopefully we'll see more of him. We can see that both sides are doing an expansion, so relatively early expansion for Terran, more of a standard expansion for Zerg, because I always fall into the theory that I hear a lot, which is, you've got to be at least one expansion ahead as Zerg, so it's far from uncommon for a Zerg to immediately pop down that second hatch. And then on the Terran side, you can see him. He's building up his wall to defend against any early Zergling aggression. As far as the pool, I did not see when it was going down. Probably too busy talking about my fellow Polak. But it looks like the pool is up and running. Let's see who's producing what. It looks pretty much standard. There is, however, yet another command center. Yes, okay, we've got another command center being built, or actually it's just finishing up. All right, I thought there was a third command center, but you never know. A double expand from Terran would be quite unusual in a Zerg versus Terran play, but hey, sounds like fun to me. All right, so we got the queen up here, and she's gonna poke that poor little SCV right in the eyeball with her little sticky paws, and he falls to nothing. Turns around, pukes on her den. Jeez, that's so queen-like. In the center, we've got the Zelnaga Tower being dutifully watched by a Zergling. So map dominance right now goes to these two Zerglings. They're like owning the joint. Terran is doing, oh, this is odd. I've never seen Terran where they like wall in and turtle up. They're usually out there, aggressive. Oh no, that's what they do. Anyway, we've got some mules going down, so, nothing too fancy from either side. It looks like our Panzer General has not even really developed any of his mech play, relying specifically on bio. He is adding double refineries, so he is definitely transitioning to more of a gas-heavy build. Tefel is actually pulling his lair up into, he's turning his hatchery into a lair. So he's trying to progress up to the next tier of play. Got a spine crawler out here just to keep any early aggression from Goody at bay, which is actually well timed, because we have one SCV, one brave SCV, and a big lineup of Marines. We'll see what he can do with this. He's going to push in. He's going to see that spine crawler. Is it going to scare him? He does. He steps back. He does have a significant number of Marines. I think he was going to try to bunker up, but that's pretty much out the door. This SCV says, I'm out of here. You guys are supposed to be fighting. And the SCV goes up and he's scouting. He probably just wants to make sure there's no early expansions, no movement from the Zerg, because once you let the Zerg get out of control, well, they're, what's the word I'm looking for? Out of control. That's what I'm looking for. Anyway, Terran's gonna pop his troops back in behind his barrack wall and hunker down for the long road. See, he has not even, okay, he does have factories going down. He's got 3 factories, so he's gonna live up to his Goody name. Looks like he possibly could be the Panzer General. Bringing in some tank play, tank marine play. Armory Shadow is right here. So he's getting an armory and an engineering bay. So we went from double expand to some early kind of poking around to teching up, meching up, and seeing what happens. Zerg now pretty much has taken over all MacDonald since Terran decided that that's all the poking he's going to do. Next time you see him, hopefully he's going to have a line of tanks and be pushing across slowly. We've got a significant number of Zerglings, probably unnecessary, because I doubt Terran's going to poke his head out until he starts getting some of those tanks. Now, strangely enough, these spine crawlers are going down outside of the base. Zerg is diligently spewing, spitting, and cranking creep, trying to get that creep highway over to his newly added 3rd expansion up here in the 2 o'clock position. Got a little swarm of Zerglings just to keep things honest, make sure that there's no significant Terran armory tearing up his stuff. And really, I am not sure how this is going to evolve. Oh, now surprisingly enough, rather than tanks, we've got Hellions. These Hellions actually could do some good. If they can get in there, get past those Zerglings, burn them up, they could actually do some damage to the supreme macro that Tefel is now working on. He's going in here to the 3rd, and the Zerglings are coming up here trying to create some kind of surround, but the blue flame just finished, and they are starting to toast them. Oh, fungal growth goes down on them, and they are done. Now, I didn't even notice this because I'm a little slow, but we've got Festers on the field. So that's probably going to slow up that blue. Well, it just did slow up that blue flame Hellion play. So let's see how we respond here. We do have 2 Thors coming out. I think Terran was expecting some Muta play from Zerg, but we have not seen any Muta yet. So now the direct response is a mix of Thors, Hellions, and Marines. The pressure is still going to continue. We got these Infestors and these Speed Zerglings coming down, and they're meeting in the middle. What's going to happen? Looks like they're pushing back on all the Zerglings. Oh, nice fungal growth placed on that huge group of Marines. They're pretty much decimated. The Thors are coming in. The Marines are heading up the front. We've got some SCVs ready to repair. Is he going to continue to push forward with this Terran army? Backup and supply coming through. Another Thor. A lot of pressure from Terran right now. I can see the tension in the Zerg's eyes. Here we go. Is the fungal growth? Fungal growth goes down on the Marines. More Thors. Pincer move from the outside. Looks like those, oh my gosh, those Thors are being ultra efficient. I haven't seen mech play like this for quite some time. They got the surround on the Thors. Zerglings are in place. These Thors are getting torn apart. SCV's trying to repair, but they're hurt themselves. Will it last down to the last Thor? Will they be able to hold up? I would not say that was an effective win for Terran. I get what they were trying to do, but some well-placed fungal growth really slowed down that activity. Now, we do have some siege tanks coming here. Very common for Goody. That's what he's known for, which is going to make things a little bit harder for this fungal growth Zergling play that we just saw. Blue flames come in, and boom! Nice job. Way to lure him in with the blue flames. Now it looks like the spine crawlers are up. They're trying to clean up that creep. Zerg is definitely getting a lot of pressure. I just read a little bit about Goody's play. I think I've seen maybe a couple rounds from him, but he is living up to his name, utilizing mech, pushing in slowly and painfully. Ultralux is on the field. We have at least one of them, but is this going to be enough? Let's see. Let's check the unit count. We actually have 5 Ultralisks. Are they going to push in now? They're just... I don't know why Tefel is waiting around and letting these Ultralisks get damaged. Okay, they're starting to move in. Can these Ultralisks break this Terran wall? Fungal growth down on the SCVs. That Thor is sticking in there like a champ. But it's now destroyed. The SCVs are down, and they've torn apart the tank wall. It looks like Zerg is now going to move directly at Terran, and I'm not sure Terran's going to be able to respond to this. We've still got 2 Ultralisks in place. 2 Hellions going out just to scout to see how much of a retaliation there is going to be from the Zerg. Chasing around those 2 Hellions. That's probably a good thing for the Terran because he needs to hold off this Zerg army as much as possible, trying to build up some kind of defense. He still is only on 2 bases. He really does not have enough to keep this momentum going. He is going to slowly peter out. He's going to starve to death if Zerg doesn't come in here and just decimating with his standing army right now. Terran is now up to 100 in their standing army, but Zerg is looking at near max at a 168. And I'm sure that's going to go up rapidly. I don't see Terran being able to take this 3rd base that he desperately needs. He's got 3 tanks on the high ground, and he's got this Thor here to defend. He might be able to do it with his tank play, but we'll see. And Zerg comes in, and he starts to grind away at the Terran's defenses. All these SCVs just got fungal growth. Oh my goodness. Is he going to be able to hold this base? This is his last option. He is going to run out of money. He did push off the Zerg. We got 1 Ultralisk, and the rest of the Zerg forces are moving out, retreating. More Ultralisks. 1 more Ultralisk coming. Is this going to hold up? Alright, we do have 5 Ultralisks on the field. And really, this is make it or break it for Terran right now. If he does not get this 3rd base up, he will starve to death. If you look, his main base is pretty much out. He's not even mining out any of that. His 2nd base is fully saturated and will mine out quickly. He does have SCVs in place here, but he's got to hold this. This is his last stand. Ultralisk coming down. Tanks blowing him up. I'm not sure this is like a half boy in, and the infestors go down, but they drop a fungal growth on those 2 Hellions. SCV going in for repair, and I think Terran is going to be able to hold off for just a little bit longer. Terran really needs to probably double expand. It looks like Zerg is now fully saturated on his 4th base. 2nd base still in good condition. I'm sure home base is pretty much tapped out. So he is essentially running on 3 bases, and Terran is trying to run off about 1.5. He is trying to expand down here, but the creep is being spewed by this Overlord. This will slow things up and cue in Zerg to the fact that Terran is trying to expand down to here. He has not moved his mech wall down there to defend that. So he's going to have to push that around if he plans on expanding down there and utilizing that. Now he does look like he's trying to expand up here, trying to keep the creep from getting out of hand. Those Overlords are just dumping creep everywhere. Putting up some turrets. Thors are coming in, getting rid of those Overlords so that they can stop laying down that creep. Zerg is coming in with his army now. A lot of Ultralooks again. Let's look at the upgrades. Oh, we've got some nicely upgrade Ultralists. We got 3 defense, 3 attack on those Ultralists. Those things are vicious. Poke in with Terran. Overlord's checking things out, but that's going to end because he looks like he's putting up these turrets. Zerg still putting down creep down here. Now, Terran is going to try to expand up to this 10 o'clock post, dropping the mules, cranking it out. And he really needs to do this if he plans on keeping up his supply. If you look in the upper right-hand corner, it looks like Zerg has plenty of supply. He can keep on cranking out an army, and he's back up to 200. Terran is still struggling at 160 supply. Definitely running behind in size of army and ability to create that army with the number of bases he has. He's at a very tentative moment, but he looks like he's establishing somewhat of a stronghold. He's got a second orbital command, so that's going to mean, or not a second, but an additional extra orbital command that I'm sure he's using to crank out more mules so he can get rid of the minerals at these extra expansions as quickly as possible. Zerg has now added an additional expansion down here and just dumping creep everywhere. It seems like Tefel likes pooping creep more than he actually likes using creep tumors, which I don't know, that's not sustainable, and considering you're throwing your supply out there to do so, probably not the greatest thing. And I froze up for a second, but it looks like there's a battle going on over here, and we've got a little bit of lag on my end. I've got some stuff producing in the background. Fungal growth goes down on the tanks, and Zerg retreats. Faced against that nasty, stereotypical, signature Goody wall of tanks, Zerg backs up. Pretty much both sides have reached near to the top of their tech trees. Viking do a really efficient job getting rid of these brood lords. I'm not sure, other than, well, yeah, okay, so these Marines were the only thing that was able to help defend those brood lords. So we got brood lords and ultralisks from the Zerg player. We got a mixed bag of everything, mostly mech, from our friend Goody. More Thors joining the game. We got a total of 9 Ultralists on the table. As far as builds, we're looking at more attack for Zerg coming along. More Thors. Terran vehicle upgrades to level 3. Both sides are definitely posturing for a long dug-in game. Zerg is down here with the Ultralists, trying to take out the rocks, and now they're going to push in. They're going to stream into this space in front of the main and just decimate it. I really don't think that this tank line is going to be able to hold up against this. And they lift up the orbital command, and Zerg pulls out. Those Ultralists are really low on health, but they will survive. Got to kill this little Hellion for poking at him. That was quickly done, but it looks like Terran is back in play with his orbital command as quickly as this happened. He did lose the one, but luckily he had the backup that he was using for mules. And it looks like Zerg is now expanding down to this lower portion, extending his creep out a little further. Eventually, we're going to get to a point where Zerg can just choke Goody out. Though he's got to be really careful. If he keeps on jumping on the sword, jumping on this massive tank wall, it's going to be painful. Zerg's built up his army. He's at 200 again. Terran is at 200. Now it's just how they utilize the micro, how they utilize their armies, what mix they have, and how it responds to the other. It looks like the Ultralists are going in. Thors are backing up, back and forth. Vikings are killing the broodlords. And it looks like Terran is taking a slight advantage here. Nice fungal growth from the Zerg. Couple infested Terrans, I think, just to hold off the Vikings, which ended up, the Vikings sat down. That last of the infestors is going down. so there's no significant standing army on the front lines from Zerg right just yet. But as you know, they can rebuild, and it looks like he's already almost up to 100% for his army. Where it is, I don't know. There it is. All right, Terran is pushing in and starting to eke into Zerg supply. Zerg supply is depleting. It's plummeting. And he's killing his overlords. And Zerg is now supply blocked and is at 165 supply. It looks like Zerg is just ditching his army. We're not being able to respond. He's pushing into the wall of the Terran, but Goody has sieged some of his tanks and just brought the battle to Tefel, and he good games. Well done, and such classic Goody play. You know, I like to do research on my casts, and I did a little research on Goody, and you know, this is exactly what he's known for. This is what it says on Liquipedia. It says he is known for his mech play, known for his utilization of siege tank lines, and well played against Tefel. Well, thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you again.